before I start with
Sure.
everything, let me just say like thank you. I know you're like a really busy person, and by giving you your time, it's really nice from you to help this cause. I would like to like start telling you what we are doing, so you know a little bit more about Billetera Solidaria, and then you can just say who you are, what you're doing, and just go with the interview. Is that okay?
Sure, it's my pleasure to be here and assist in any way I can.
Perfect. So what we are doing with Billetera Solidaria, that it's like if you translate it, it's something like Solidary wallet, kind of. So we put an open wallet for the people to donate some money in order for different projects. So we are like link or connect with some foundations and solidary work, and also with the government from Cordoba, that is a city over in Argentina. So what we try to do is to take bitcoins or cryptocurrency into like legal money, and we try to donate it to some foundations, associations, because I'm from there, I'm from Argentina, but I'm living in the Netherlands, so I know how hard it can be for them right now during corona times and everything. So that's basically our job. That's what we are doing, and these interviews are the ones that helps people to understand how blockchain can help our society and how can we like make it better somehow. And by speaking with people like you, that you, I think you live in Singapore, right?
Yeah.
So,
I live in Singapore. Yeah.
so yeah, now you're like gonna tell us a little bit more about you, but as you know, like in Singapore, cryptocurrency is really developed, so it does work. So why don't you like introduce yourself, tell who you are, what you're doing, and how you are getting into this system?
Okay, sure. Okay, my name is James Gillingham. I'm the managing director of Finex Flow. I'm originally from London, but I live in Singapore. The reason for living in Singapore is because of the advancements that are being made within the financial services sector, specifically the cryptocurrency and blockchain world. I started my journey in Bitcoin back in 2013. I was a part of the exchange Mt. Gox or MT Gox back in the UK. I started then. I started with some friends. We were involved in mining. We were buying Bitcoin for at the time it was about $50 to $100 per Bitcoin. It was extremely easy to mine at those times. That's where my first interest really came into it. I was primarily in the traditional finance, so I was in forex. I was a forex and derivatives trader for an investment bank. I then moved into a hedge fund. I was part of a team where we were managing $4.5 billion. I then got sick of this, so I then started my own algorithmic trading company, my first company at the age of 24. That was reasonably successful. I sold that for eight figures in US dollars. I then decided that I wanted to travel the world a bit, so I actually lived in Latin America. I lived in Mexico for a little bit, which is kind of Central America, but which was very, very good. Then, whilst I was in Mexico, I was also still dabbling in crypto. It wasn't really developed. It was full of sharks. It was pretty much the wild, wild west. There was lots of scams. MT Gox got hacked, so I lost all of my Bitcoin. I didn't know anything about hot or cold storage. I knew nothing about nothing. I was just playing, really. I was just messing around. To be totally honest with you, I got involved with it, and I kind of thought it's not credible. I thought that it's not going to take off. It's not going to do very well. However, I will happily get involved and just take a punt, a gamble, a bet, basically. And I ended up losing a significant amount of money in today's real terms. And then as the cryptocurrency arena developed, I was analyzing like Binance and Coinbase and all of these newish kind of exchanges. But what I was trying to do was I was actively trading. So I'm a prop trader. So I was actively trading. I was trying to find the global best price. So I was trying to buy Bitcoin, but I was trying to say, okay, if I want to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP or any of the actual main block coins. So trying to buy the main coins or the altcoins. How can I do this? Because I was trying to find the global best price, and by going to one singular exchange doesn't give me the global best price. It only gives me the price of anyone that's interacting within that one exchange. So then I started to look at, okay, so what options do I have? So I saw that there was a few companies in the world that were aggregating liquidity partners, i.e. exchanges, but there was no offerings to retail investors, i.e. I'm a retail investor, I'm not an institutional trader, I don't have hundreds of millions of dollars to trade. I mean, I have a healthy balance, but I don't have a lot of money like the institutions do. So I saw that there was a huge gap in the market. So that's when I really started my journey. So at the time I was working for an algorithmic trading company. I was heading up their entire global operations or their Asia Pac operations here. I set them up, I got them moving, and it wasn't actually my own company. So I was like, okay, well, I see this huge opportunity. I'm going to, again, go back to becoming an entrepreneur. It's something I really love. I like developing and building companies and putting them together and having the various departments. The reason why we selected Singapore was because of the regulation. So here is one of the first countries in the world to have regulation. It's a little bit warmer than Switzerland, or it's a little bit warmer than Japan. It's like it's nice temperature, it's nice people. So essentially, I decided to domicile myself here in Singapore, and I started the venture of FinExFlow, where we now aggregate the global best price. We have 25 plus exchanges that are aggregated through exchange and non-exchange connectivity. And I guess I'm really, really passionate now around blockchain. I'm really passionate about cryptocurrency. I'm really passionate about the decentralization as well. So I'm really interested in DeFi. So we're also setting up a DeFi aggregator. So that's a new project that we're taking on. So we now have the centralized aggregator and we have the decentralized aggregator. So there's things like lending, margin trading, borrowing. So we're also aggregating Compound and all these other protocols. So we're also aggregating those, which is really, really exciting. And I'm just really kind of, I would say amazed at how fast cryptocurrency and blockchain world is developing. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and now it's becoming a lot more credible. It's a lot more stable. The major institutional players are now involved. So if you now look at some of the tier 1 banks, they're also involving themselves within digital currency. There's a number of banks now like Signature Bank or Revolut, and they now allow you to pay using crypto. So it's now becoming a much more stable area and place to kind of to be involved in, to what it was 6 or 7 years ago, where it really was the Wild West. There still is a lot of scammers. There still is a lot of people that are not playing by the rules. There are still exchanges out there that allow market inefficiencies like wash trading, like washing of the order books. All of these things that no longer happen in the more developed institutional financial markets like equities or forex or derivatives. This doesn't really happen. It still goes on, but not as much. So now the blockchain and cryptocurrency arena is becoming a lot more developed.
Yes.
And that's something that I'm very proud to be a part of, to be able to help the markets become less inefficient and become more regulated and structured.
That's really good. Like, we can say that you were one of the pioneers from the blockchain all over the places you were traveling around. And as I told you before, in Argentina and every Latin American country, it's like underdeveloped. So we are in that speculation part where people don't really know if it's right, if it's wrong, if they're gonna get scammed or whatever. It's really common to get scammed over there now because it's just emerging. And this conversation allowed me and some other of my team workers to tell people, no, trust me, this is working in Singapore, it's working in China, it's working here in the Netherlands, it's working all around the world, and it's solving a lot of problems. Not all, because you cannot solve every single problem, but it's solving a lot. Blockchain helps a lot. And you told that you live in Mexico some days or months or whatever. You saw the corruption over there. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, well, it's from Mexico down. Every single country is the same. And blockchain, it's a really good weapon or tool to try to fix that. that's what I'm telling when I say that Bitcoin, it's not only a cryptocurrency stuff. If you divide it, you got two parts, like the blockchain part and then the cryptocurrency, that it's really good to make money, but the blockchain part, it's the interesting one, it's the really important, it's the one that we have to do these conversations and try to get the more people to really know it, you know. So I wanted to ask you, in your country, like now in Singapore, how is it working? Does the government allows it? How is like the laws over there into like cryptocurrency, blockchain?
So anyone here involved in blockchain or cryptocurrency, they now have to be regulated. So they are regulated by the Monetary Authority of Singapore. That adds a lot of credibility, because to become regulated, you have to jump through a lot of legalities, and it's really tough. And they make sure that you have all the internal processes by the book. There's no longer the Wild West approach where you can do what you want. You have to really stick to the rules, and if you don't stick to the rules, you lose your license, and essentially you lose your business. Something that you said actually in your last statement is actually very correct. So with the blockchain arena, essentially what most newbies don't understand is that every transaction on the blockchain is recorded.
Yep.
So it's extremely difficult for corruption to happen, because you can actually, so we've integrated with a company by the name of Chainalysis. Chainalysis can actually see wallets, transactions. They can link the transactions through the blockchain, and you can see, so if one particular coin is sent from one wallet to the next wallet to the next wallet, you're able to easily see that on the blockchain. So it actually makes the financial markets a lot more stable. It makes it a lot harder to be able to do the normal traditional fiat moves, where you can take your money out the bank and you can move it. If it's a coin and it's on a ledger, it's on a blockchain, then essentially it has to go through. There are ways that you can get around it, like proof of stake and governance tokens. So if you own over 51%, you can kind of hide the trust. There are all these minute, granular level things that we could go into, but generally, if it's something like Bitcoin, it's impossible to be able to hide your transactions. Absolutely impossible, and every transaction can be accounted for. And that actually takes away the power of anyone being corrupt or anyone stealing money, or because if anyone was to steal money from you in a certain transaction, you would be able to report what's classed as an SAR. The SAR would go into to the police, and the federal police. They can then seize those assets. So in fact, blockchain is a lot more secure, and it's better for economies, so that the corruption cannot happen.
Yeah, most of the people think that it's gonna, like, it's a game changer where it's gonna like take a lot of shops, but on the contrary, it's getting new shops, it's making new positions to develop. So it's not like taking shops, it's making more, and now it's like making better everything. But people don't really understand it. Yeah, it's really good. Mostly all the questions that I want to ask you are related to this subject, so let's go with the cryptocurrency. Would you like to speak a little bit about cryptocurrency?
About Bitcoin specifically, yeah?
Yeah.
So Bitcoin before COVID was like 4,500, so it's about $4,500 US a Bitcoin. Since then, it's now rallied up to like 11,000 a Bitcoin. Yeah. I personally feel that the cryptocurrency markets have not been in this bullish move since 2017. The last time that we've seen like the real upside within any kind of assets. If you look at Ethereum or Bitcoin or the major players, I feel that there's still a lot more to go. So I feel that Bitcoin can easily reach the highs, which was at 19 or 20,000 quite easily. I feel as though there is a lot more upside to BTC. It will take time. I think that you know, if you follow the markets, you're able to see that many of the institutional players for the past 2 or 3 years have all said Bitcoin's don't get involved. It's a scam. It's not credible. So you see JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, all these CEOs that are saying that it's not good, right? And then all of a sudden, all of these CEOs right now are now saying, oh, Bitcoin's a good diversification to your portfolio. The reason why that is, and it's the fact that the banks control the financial news. So when they tell the financial news reporters, oh, Bitcoin's not good, Bitcoin sells off, they buy Bitcoin really cheaply, and then what they do is they acquire the market, and then they say, oh, everyone should buy now, it's fantastic, and then the market rallies up again, right? So this is what happens significantly. So when Warren Buffett and these other investors say, when the markets are rallying, you should be scared, and when people are scared, you should be buying. That's exactly right, because you should always be doing what's opposite. Right now, people are now saying, well, where is Bitcoin going? Because there was a key resistance level. I mean, I'm a trader, so the key resistance level was at 10,000. It was trying to break. It persistently hit the resistance, probably about six or seven times. And then after that, it then jumped up and actually breached the key resistance. Now we're up at 11,000. We don't know where the next support level. Well, now 10,000 is actually the support level, and we're now trying to find the next barrier of resistance. Whether that's going to be 15,000, 13,000.
Don't know.
We don't know, right? So yeah, I feel extremely bullish. I feel like the markets have moved back into the 2017, where people are excited. They're really excited about DeFi, which I mentioned before, which we're now heavily involved in. There's a lot more investors coming to the table, and not only that, I feel as though there's a lot of institutional players now that are also getting involved. If you see, I think it was Grayscale Capital or Grayscale Investments, I can't remember their exact name, but they're a large hedge fund, and they bought 60,000. And this was reported. So again, they're all trying to, some 60,000 actually equates to from 21 million. Let's say there's about 19 million Bitcoin probably in circulation, after there's about 2 million that have been lost or locked or whatever, right? So there's 19 million. So 60,000, they've essentially got 0.25% of the entire market. Obviously, the concern is, well, if somebody buys too much, does that mean that there's going to be an exposure to downside? At the moment, we don't see that. The market's a lot more mature. There's a lot more players. The volumes are continuing to increase. And another very interesting fact is that the Forex markets was developed, I don't know, 100 years ago or whatever, right? The FX markets, and it's 100 times smaller than the cryptocurrency markets. So we anticipate that obviously since 2012, since inception, to actually now being 100 times smaller, it's literally growing 20 to 30% year on year every year. So we anticipate that gap is going to get smaller and smaller, and by, I'd say, 2025 to 2030, then the cryptocurrency markets will be more developed than the crypto markets. And the crypto market, than the Forex markets. And the Forex markets are like a $6 trillion a day market. So,
it's going really high.
There's a lot of growth still to come.
Well, I read that, as you say, on the net, we got like 19 million Bitcoins around, and then there is 2 million that it's missing, and that's a percentage of around 120 years of mining until we get them on the market. So there is a long way until we got to that point, and in that long way there is a huge amount of Bitcoin that can go to the skies, like pricing speaking. So
of course,
would you recommend to get into Forex or into cryptocurrency market?
Sorry, do you recommend you cut off there?
Do you recommend like start by going to Forex market and start trading there and then move into cryptocurrency market, or would you say to go first like just straight to cryptocurrency market?
Very good question. I would say any market that you want to kind of get started in, realistically, you should also start trading on demos, right?
Yeah, of course, always.
With Forex, you can sign up to a demo, you can put demo money in, and you can start trading, right? So essentially, always start where you're learning. The learning phase can be anywhere from 6 months to 1 year to 1.5 years. But the key driver should be that are you being consistently profitable? That's if you want to be a day trader or if you want to actually trade the markets. If you're a long-term investor, i.e. like a swing trader or you're looking to hold an asset and let it ride, like ride the peaks and the troughs, then I would suggest just buying perhaps Ethereum or Bitcoin or and just holding it and just watching the market. But if you want to be more actively involved, then obviously you can select Forex or you can select cryptocurrency. And one interesting fact is that we here at Finex Flow, we've developed demo trading. So for any newbie cryptocurrency traders right now, if you go to Coinbase or Binance or any of the other exchanges, because we're a brokerage, we have developed demo trading and testnet trading. So we have T, which is testnet ETH, Ethereum, and T BTC, which is testnet Bitcoin. So it means that people can get used to trading and managing their wallets, having a look at their exposure without actually risking real funds. So we're trying to bring to the market what it doesn't have right now, which is making people aware of, that it is a higher risk investment because of the volatility. I mean, you have to know, Bitcoin or Ethereum or euro dollar or any Forex cross that you're trading, there's a lot of risk involved, right? Because it can move and it's very volatile. So you have to be aware that, people normally get sold on the greed factor. So they're normally told, oh, you can make 50% or 100% of your money. Maybe you could triple your money in 6 months. Yes, you can. It's true. But you could also lose 50% of your money in 6 months. So if you've got the upside, you've also got the downside risk as well. So people just need to be aware of that.
Yeah, that's a good one. When they ask me what do we do at Cripsam, like we do trading, and they ask us why don't you go for actions instead of cryptocurrency? Well, you got all the volatility that gets you like higher profits, and that's really good. But on the other hand, you also got that volatility that takes you to the ground and kills your wallet.
Exactly.
But I was gonna ask you, like, have you ever heard about an ICO about like demo trading with cryptocurrency? But you just said it, like if people from here wants to like start trading, get some demo, get into the game and see how it works, they can go to your place and start trading right ahead.
It's free of charge. It doesn't cost anything. You sign up to an account and you start trading, and there's zero risk. It's also good for the more technical guys that have their bots, right? Because many guys have their trading bots, but they need to test them. Because I was an algo trader for a number of years, right? So you have to do extensive testing to make sure that it can withstand the market movements, the volatility. You want to make sure that the entry and exit prices are correct. So trading within a demo environment is a lot more safer than trading with real money. Even if it's small, you still risk real money.
I always say that, like, you got two ways of learning. One is by losing all your money like many times until you say, okay, I will start writing every single time I lose money, I win money, start your control risk, and that's it. And the other is by going into a demo and do it like if it was your real money. Because when you had 10,000 euros, you say, okay, I'm just gonna go and put it everything. And no, when it's a demo, you do it. But when it's your real money, you don't put 10,000 to Bitcoin to see, okay, let's see what happens. No, you don't do it.
No, exactly. So you're spot on. You have to treat the demo exactly as what you would if you're trading on a live account.
Yep, that's really good. Well, I'm not gonna take more time from you, but I would like you to give an advice to the people that are hearing us, like saying why it's gonna be really good or not from your point of view to get into blockchain, cryptocurrency, how it did help you and how it could help others.
Good question. Okay, so the reason why I also got into crypto was because I I was involved with the banking system. I was involved as a banking trader. I was involved in a hedge fund, and I was trading, right? And to be totally honest with you, it's I've always seen the system as very, very unfair. It really protects the guys that have the multi-millions. Money makes money, right? So that's what the system basically does. You get overcharged, you get bigger fees. With crypto and with the blockchain, it kind of empowers the people, especially from a community standpoint. If you're investing or if you're looking at a blockchain where you have governance or you have some kind of voting rights, there's voting mechanisms, you actually have power over the way that a platform or a business develops because you have governance tokens, right? It basically empowers you. It also it makes things a lot more transparent. Once you understand exactly how blockchain works, transparency is key. There's no hidden fees, no hidden charges. You know exactly what you're paying. It also it's instant as well, right? So if you're in Argentina or Brazil or Mexico or whatever, and I'm in Singapore and I want to transfer you $1,000, the banks will take maybe a week, 2 weeks to transfer you that money and charge like 10% or 5% of the transaction for the fees.
That's
right?
a lot.
But if I want to transfer you $1,000 from my wallet to your wallet right now, I can do it instantly.
And you charge €1, maybe €2 they charge you.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
It's just ridiculous. So it's a lot quicker. It's like it's instant. It will hit your wallet. Now that has the pros and the cons. The pros is that if I know you and I'm like, hey Sebastian, we're friends. There's $1,000. Fantastic. But what you have to do is do your due diligence around who you're sending the money to. Because if you're paying for a goods or services and someone says send me the money to that wallet, there's no way of recalling it back. So once it's been sent, it's been sent. So there's upside and there's downside. So you need to be aware of both angles, right?
Yeah.
Because as soon as it's gone, there's no way of getting those funds back unless you beg the person and they're kind to you and they send it back. Which if they're trying to defraud you, it's not going to happen.
It's
right?
not going to happen.
So you do have to be careful, but assuming with anything, right? What I would suggest is take your time, be slow, understand things, right? So as long as you can understand things and ask questions, because many people are too scared to ask questions, and the guys that take the risks don't understand what they're doing, and then all of a sudden they lose $5,000 or whatever it will be, and they say, oh, crypto's a scam. But it's not. It's just the way that they're interacting within the ecosystem, and the ecosystem is actually built and developed to stop any scams. But obviously, if someone says, "Well, wire me $5,000 to this wallet," and you can easily lose your money. So you have to make sure that you understand cold storage, hot storage. Having hot storage, what does that mean? If you're on chain, off chain. All these kind of things. So if you don't understand it, don't get involved. Read up about it. Ask people that are interested in it. Talk about it. Once you feel confident, start off small. Start off with $50, $100. Don't feel silly. Just play with it. And then once you realize it's a lot less painful to lose $50 than what you're going to lose if you're going to lose $50,000, for instance, right? So start off slow. Don't jump in and just enjoy learning something new, because it really is for people that are open-minded. You can't be closed-minded where you keep your cash under your mattress and you don't trust anyone. Then I've had the questions many times. Well, how do you know it's credible? Blah blah blah. Look, this market isn't for everybody. Like not everybody's gonna like crypto, right? But more people are now getting involved because it's becoming more of a bullish move. So there's more people are talking about it. It's becoming more credible. The institutions are getting involved. So now people are now looking at this going, oh, I actually want to get involved. But don't be afraid to say that you don't like it. Just say, no, I don't want to do it. And if you don't want to do it, no problem. The crypto market's more than developed enough and big enough to not have you or me involved. It's not going to stop. So we all don't have to be aligned. But fortunately for me and for you, I guess, it's like people love blockchain, we love the technology, we love cryptocurrency, and if you know, and if you're patient and you're willing to learn the knowledge that you need to have to interact with the ecosystem safely, then it's a lot better than traditional banking. It's 100 million times better than normal traditional banking. It's absolutely amazing. So if you're willing to take the time to learn, then
let's go for it.
It's all right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, mate. It was a really productive talk, and I think that people are really gonna like it. So thank you for your time, and you have a good day.
Yeah, Sebastian, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Well,
all right, take care. Bye-bye. Bye.